Hey guys, welcome to Great Learning. Social media platforms are more popular today than they were ever before, right? We have billions of people using social media such as Facebook or Instagram, for example. Now, did you know that billions of dollars are spent by people across the globe when they use these social media as a marketing tool? And of course, it is considered to be one of the biggest marketplaces in the world as well. Now, running advertisement campaigns on Facebook will automatically give you a very good outreach, but that is not it. Running ads on Facebook is so much more than that, right? It gives you an immense amount of freedom and a ton of option to choose from when working on your advertisement. Running, analyzing, and managing advertisements on Facebook has never been more interactive and detailed than it is now. This video aims to provide you with an in-depth information of how you can go about understanding the Facebook Business Manager and working with it and a lot more. Well, with that, what are we waiting for? Let's get started. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. This is done to make sure you do not miss out on any of the new updates or video releases from Great Learning. And of course, guys, if you enjoy this video, show us some love and do like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, right? So make sure you share this video with your friends, colleagues, and everyone who can make use of it. And at the end of it, make sure to comment on the video if you have any queries or any suggestions, and I'll be more than happy to respond to all of your comments.
Hello everyone, welcome to this video by Great Learning. My name is Sai Sharan and today we are going to discuss a very crucial topic. So this topic is about running ads on the world's most used platform, which is Facebook. So running Facebook campaigns is vital for every digital marketer out there. And let's quickly look at why you need to use Facebook for your digital marketing plans. Like I mentioned earlier, Facebook is the highest used platform across the world with over 2.5 billion users across the world. So you are sitting on a gold mine of users by reaching out to them via Facebook. So using Facebook ads, you can reach users on Facebook, Instagram, and what is known as the audience network. That is the whole network of Facebook through which you can run ads and show up your products. So it's not just Facebook that you're reaching out to, that 2.5 billion. You have this 1 billion users using Instagram actively. So Instagram is a super hot platform today. Most users have Instagram on their phone. I'm sure you watching this video might be having either Facebook or Instagram on your phone, and you must be receiving ads at a daily level. So with this, you know the potential of how businesses and digital marketers are unlocking the potential of Facebook, Instagram, and audience network using Facebook Business Manager and showing up their ads. So now let's look at what is Facebook marketing. When I say Facebook marketing, like I mentioned, this does not restrict yourself to just Facebook. Facebook Business Manager or Facebook campaigns means that you run the campaigns on the Facebook Business Manager, but the reach or wherever the placement of your campaign would be on Facebook, Instagram, and audience network. So I would like you guys to keep this in mind throughout this video so that you don't misunderstand Facebook marketing for just Facebook. So it is Facebook, Instagram, and audience network. So audience network means that it is a host of apps. It could be gaming apps, it could be video calling apps, all those apps that Facebook has partnered with so that your ads can get a wider reach. So through Facebook marketing, you have a host of options. You have a variety of objectives that you can drive through your campaigns. You can drive conversions, you can drive awareness, you can drive leads, you can get app installs, app engagement. So there are different objectives within Facebook. This also includes your store visits. So there are multiple objectives on Facebook as well, but it is for you to define which actually suits you best and go ahead with that objective for your business. So here let's look at a quick example of what a Facebook ad looks like. I'm sure all of you have come across a Facebook ad at some point in your life, but this like I said, isn't restricted to Facebook. This is also on Instagram and the audience network. So the screenshot that I provided is on Facebook. As you can see, there is a sponsored written right under the ad. So you would see this as a normal feed ad, that is, it would look like sponsored. So even on Instagram, you would see a similar sort of a format where you would see an ad and it would say sponsored. But the example that I've given is for a feed placement, that is the Facebook home feed placement. There are multiple placements within the Facebook Business Manager or Facebook Ads Manager. So here there are placements which are in Facebook Stories, Facebook Newsfeed, and multiple other places like the Instagram Stories, Instagram Newsfeed, Instagram Reels. So Instagram Reel ads is something new that has come up in 2021, and you can use this to tap into a wide audience because Reels is now a hot placement. Most of Instagram users are now using Reels. So through using Reel ads, you can promote your content on that specific placement. So likewise, there are multiple placements that you can choose from. And I will be showing you that while we launch our campaigns on Facebook Business Manager. So now let's look at the quick terms that you need to know before you launch a Facebook campaign. So these are a few basic terms. Of course, there are many more that you need to keep in mind, but let's get started with these basic ones that you need to keep in mind. So the first one is campaign. So the structure itself is that campaign, ad set, and ad. So this is something that is super crucial and you need to keep that in mind while launching a campaign. So the structure of the campaign, ad set, and ad. So you have one campaign within which you can have multiple ad sets, within which you can have multiple ads. So you can have, say, one campaign for driving conversions. Within that you have 2 to 3 ad sets or more, which have multiple targeting options. And within each ad set, you can have multiple ads. So that is the structure that is followed for campaigns. The difference is that one campaign can have only one objective. That is the main purpose of this. So within one campaign, you can either drive conversions or you can probably drive leads. You can get app installed. So there are multiple objectives, but you have to stick to one while launching a campaign. You have to select the main campaign objective and post that. Within ad sets, you can define the demographics. You can define what audiences you want to show, what placement goes in there, what budgets go in there. So there are multiple aspects to that once you get started with a campaign. So for example, you could launch a campaign for driving conversions. So the objective remains driving conversions, but in that you have multiple ad sets. Say you are selling shoes, so you would want to segregate it, probably saying in tier 1 cities, you're selling shoes is one ad set, and the second ad set could be tier 2 cities. So that is one way of segregating the ad sets, within which you have separate ads. In each ad set, you have separate ads. Another example could be that, again, you're selling shoes, but you want to split it by gender. Say you are selling men's shoes separately and women's shoes separately. So you would have that one campaign which drives conversions, within which you have an ad set for men's shoes, the second one for women's shoes, and probably a third one for kids' shoes. Within this, if you prefer, if you want to have multiple ad sets, you can probably have something like men's shoes for tier 1 cities, men's shoes for tier 2 cities, women's shoes for tier 1, women's shoes for tier 2, and so on. So there are multiple options of segregating the ad sets, and of course the ads within that will also need to change. You don't want a women's shoes showing up in a men's shoes targeting option, right? So it depends. You will have to define what the targeting goes like, and within that you can segregate and separate each ad set. So you have multiple options within that. You can separate it by age group. You can probably use different placements on each ad set, or you could probably use different targeting options altogether. So you have multiple types of audiences, which we'll come to in the coming slides. So you can probably separate it via interest-based targeting versus a lookalike targeting. And there are multiple options there, which we will see while launching our Facebook ad campaign. Another thing that you need to keep in mind is the budget allocation. In Google campaigns, how it works is that the budget allocation is only at a campaign level. But in Facebook, this is quite different. So the budget can be allocated at a campaign level too. So at a campaign level, it is called as campaign budget optimization, where you allocate the budget at a campaign level and Facebook itself decides which ad set is performing best and which ad set to allocate more budget to. The constraint that comes with this is that sometimes some ad sets don't spend enough of your money. This is something that probably might not be very feasible. So Facebook has given you another option, which is the ad set budget optimization, where you can set budgets for each ad set and basis that it spends accordingly. Of course, there are multiple options within the campaign budget optimization as well. So these minute details, I will save it for later while we launch our first Facebook ad campaign. Before that, let's quickly look at what other terms are necessary for this particular campaign. So there is impressions, which means the number of times your ad was shown. So impression counts each time the ad was shown. A very similar term is reach. Reach means the unique number of times your ad was shown to each person. So this means that, say me and you, we both see an ad. Say you and I see the same ad. I see the ad 3 times. You see the ad twice. This means that the impression is 5, which is 3 plus 2, 5 impressions, while the reach is only 2. Reach means the unique number of people the ad was shown to. That is you and I. So it means that 2 people the ad was shown to. The reach is 2. The impression is 5. So it is important to keep that in mind to understand the metrics related to your ad. The fifth important metric is CTR, or click-through rate, which means the number of times your ad was shown versus the number of times your ad was clicked. So this indicates how effective your communication is, how effective your ad was. It's important for you to understand which ad got a higher click-through rate, for you to understand which communication is working, which image is working, which video is working, which asset is working in general. So in this, again, there are different types of CTR. In Facebook, CTR also counts post clicks. It could be a like or someone just clicking on somewhere around the post. So another metric which is vital to understand the number of people who went to your landing page is link click-through rate, which means that the number of people who clicked on a link or outbound click-through rate, which means that the number of people who saw your ad, clicked on it and went to your website. The last term in this slide is frequency. Frequency means the number of times your ad was shown to a particular person. Say your frequency is 3. It means that within your audience base or the audience targeting that you've put, Facebook has shown the ads to a person thrice. So if you are targeting, say, existing website visitors, that is people who already came to your website, within that whole pool of audiences, each person saw the ad thrice. So it is important to monitor this particular metric. Sometimes, especially in retargeting, we end up targeting the same person quite a few times, which might not be so relevant. So sometimes the frequency goes up to 10. This means that a person within that time frame, say within 7 days, whatever the time frame that you set, a person sees the ad 10 times or 15 times. Whatever that number is, frequency indicates that specific number. So let's now look at the different campaign and business objectives within Facebook. As a marketer, it is super vital for you to understand your objective first. Within Facebook, there are multiple objectives. There are a host of objectives, but we could primarily break it down to 3 different types, which is awareness, consideration, and conversion. To similar to the business objectives, that is like a whole business objective. What is your end business objective or funnel? Facebook too has broken down its campaign objectives in a similar fashion. So within each objective, that is awareness, consideration, and conversion, there are multiple sub-objectives that you can choose which suits best for your business. So for this, let's look at a quick example of a business. Say you are a clothing store that just started out recently, an e-commerce clothing store. So you sell t-shirt, jeans, etc., all types of clothing. So here you could use the different types of objectives to suit your business. Say you want to drive awareness for your business, for your new startup or store that you launched. You would use the Facebook reach campaigns. That is to reach maximum number of people. The reach, like I mentioned, means the unique number of people that you can show your ad to. So through reach campaigns, you can reach multiple people on Facebook and show your ads. Put the word out that there exists a brand that sells clothing online. So you could showcase your different designs or unique designs, whatever is your USP or whatever is that makes your brand stand out. You can use it for awareness campaigns. The second type is consideration. So within consideration campaigns, you have multiple objectives like engagement, app install, lead generation. So again, if you want audience to engage with your posts, you could probably use an engaging campaign or like a contest. So there are multiple options. So there are several options that you can use through consideration. So this step helps enhance the audience's bond with your business. So through consideration campaign, you are taking your awareness to the next level. So awareness would be the first step of the funnel, post that consideration, and then comes conversion. So we can look at the sub objectives within each of these. We can see which objective suits best for your business. So if you are an e-commerce store, you probably want to drive app installs, right? If you have an app, of course. So you can see how you can enhance consideration for your business. And the third step and the most important type of objective that is the most widely used in Facebook campaigns is conversions. So of course, most businesses, or I would say all businesses, have a conversion objective in mind, which is the end goal for every business. Of course, this differs from business to business. So you probably have an objective of driving purchases, but some of them have a different objective. So it could be booking a test drive. So the conversion objective is for you to define what is your conversion, what counts as a conversion for you. You can define that and post that. You can understand what works best for your business. So here, let's quickly have a look at the campaign types available. Like I said, within awareness, you have the objective of brand awareness. You have the objective of reach, where you reach maximum unique number of people. In consideration, you have the option of driving traffic to your website. You have the type of engaging. So you want people to engage with your posts, that is get more likes, etc. The third one would be app install. So you would want more people to install your app. The fourth being video views. You would want to get more video views. So if you have launched a particular video, which could be an existing video or an ad, you want more people to watch that video. So that is a different objective altogether. Post that comes lead generation, messages, where you would want people to send you messages. Within conversion comes conversion, catalog sales, and store traffic. So conversion is a very, very important objective where most businesses use it to drive purchases. So that could be direct conversions or conversions post driving awareness and consideration. So it wouldn't be a completely new user, but someone who has engaged earlier with your brand. So that is for you to define what is the conversion action, what is the audience that you want to show to. So then comes catalog sales, which means that if you have a product set, say you have a host of products within your e-commerce store, you can use them to send out lists through a catalog. And the last one is store traffic, where you can drive people to your offline store. Now let's look at the targeting options. Of course, this is the crux of the campaign. Whom are you showing the ad to? Are they interested in your particular product or business? So this is for you to define who exactly is your target audience. So this could come through user calls, customer research, or actually testing on Facebook. You could test and understand which audiences work best for you. So the first targeting option available is location. This is quite straightforward, right? You actually use the location where your business is most likely to flourish. So is your business getting more revenue or conversions from a country outside your home country? Are they converting higher abroad? So you could probably target different countries. You can target different states. You can target different cities, or you can even target via pin code. So if you have a list of pin codes where your business is most likely to convert or your customers are most likely to convert, you can even use a set of pin codes and target people there. If you want to exclude certain locations, you can do that too. Say you are targeting people in Karnataka, but you don't want to target Bengaluru. Say you want to remove people who are existing in the city of Bengaluru. So you can remove a particular city within a state or remove a particular pin code within a state. So that is for you to decide. If you think that your business doesn't work in a particular location, you can remove that as well, or target specific pin codes, cities, states, and even countries. The second one is demographics. So Facebook has a lot of data. They understand who exactly you are. They know what your interests are like. They know what your demographics are like. So they know if you are a college going student, if you recently moved into a house, if you recently got married. So there are different demographics that Facebook has. Within that 2.5 billion of audiences in Facebook, 1 billion in Instagram, and a wide audience in the audience network. Facebook understands and separates out the different demographics within that. So you can target specific age groups, specific cohorts within your audience through the demographic options. Of course, this we will be able to see in detail while launching our Facebook campaigns. The third one is interests. So you can see what interests suit your audience best. Are you someone who provides musical instruments? You can set the interest as musical instruments. Or are you someone who sells specific baby clothing? Then you can select people who are parents. Are you a real estate company? So you can target people who are interested in real estate. Within Facebook, you can see different options that are available for interests. You just have to look into the dashboard, and once you scroll past, you see several options that suit best for your business. The fourth one is behavior. Like I said, Facebook understands a lot about your purchase patterns, your usual behavior. So Facebook has different behavioral options within, which is engaged shoppers, people who are interested in luxury. There are many options which we will see in the coming parts of the video. The fifth targeting option is connections. So you can even target people who are connected to your business, people who like your page, people who have engaged with your page, or even friends of people who have liked your page or engaged with a particular post. The sixth one is the most vital one in my opinion. So a lot of people use audience lists. So most people engage widely with audience lists and lookalikes. So through audience list, you can tap in to the gold mine that you are sitting on. So you have a list of audiences who have already interacted with your business. Say there are people who visited your website but did not end up purchasing. You can have that as one audience list. So say there is someone who visited your website and added to cart but did not end up purchasing. So that can be a second audience list. So you can create specific cohorts within your business, the specific funnels within your business, and create those audience lists. Once you create audience lists, you have a magic platform to create new audiences or to identify prospective audiences. So this is called Facebook lookalikes. So Facebook lookalikes essentially means that you have an audience list, say someone who visited your website. You can create a lookalike of that. So you can ask Facebook that I want to identify people who have similar interests, who have similar behaviors, similar age groups, basically similar audiences. Facebook identifies people who look exactly like your audience. So it could be if you give Facebook data of your purchasers, that is people who have purchased your product, Facebook can create a lookalike of that. So Facebook can identify people who match interests of your previous buyers. So for creating lookalikes, you have to give Facebook an audience list first. So this could be a customer list that you manually enter. So it could be a list that is like a first name, last name, phone number, email, etc. Those details that you manually enter, or through Facebook audiences, you link your pixel, and through that you identify people who come into your stage of the funnel, and with that you create separate lookalikes. Within lookalikes, there are different options within lookalike. So lookalike is separated out from 1 to 10%. What this means is that lookalike 1% would be audiences that match closest to your audience list. As this goes to 10%, the audience range widens. So this means that, say you give Facebook a list of audiences. So you tell Facebook that these are the people who bought shoes from me, and you want to find a lookalike of that audience. So a lookalike 1% would mean that 1% of that fine audience that are most likely to convert. When you go to 2%, lookalike 2%, the audience range widens. So there is a lesser chance that your audience can convert. But what you can see is that the audience pool widens. So you can go from lookalike 1%, 2%, 3%, up to 10%. So what most Facebook users or Facebook campaign users, Facebook marketers use is lookalike 1 to 3%, where that is the finest audience, where Facebook identifies people who match interests closest to your existing audiences. While launching campaigns, I will show you where lookalike audiences are present, and if you have an audience list created, you can definitely use that to your advantage. Before launching the campaign, there are a few prerequisites that you have to keep in mind. The number one is what we discussed in our previous slides, is understanding your objective. So what is the objective of your business? Is it to drive awareness? Is it to get consideration from audiences? Or is it to sell? Is it to make a direct purchase? So understand what objective is it. Is it a real estate company where you want to drive leads? Or is it an e-commerce store where you want people to just make that transaction? The second one is a Facebook page. So this is super vital. If you want to launch a Facebook ad campaign, you have to have a Facebook page. So if you have an Instagram page too, that can be connected and used in the Facebook Business Manager. The third one is a landing page. Of course, this is required only for objective. That is, if you are driving traffic to your website, there are options such as brand awareness where you don't really need a website, but having a landing page or a website is super vital. That can really help you have that added advantage. The fourth one is ad assets. So what is it that you're going to show on the Facebook, Instagram, or audience network ad platforms? Are you going to show an image banner? Are you going to show a story sized creative? Are you going to show video assets? So what is it that you're going to actually promote? So you need to have those ad assets in place before you actually launch your campaign. The fifth and the most important one is a Facebook Business Manager. So without this, all of the above is useless. You have to have a Facebook Business Manager account to actually launch ads and promote your specific product. And with that, let's quickly get started and see how you can launch your very first Facebook ad campaign. So now let's look at my Facebook dashboard. So this is a test account that I ran long back, so I don't have any ads currently running on it, but I have run some in the past in this. So let's quickly look at how to set up a campaign in this specific dashboard. This is what the dashboard looks like, and here you can see that we have campaigns, ad sets, and ads. Like I mentioned, one campaign can have several ad sets, and each ad set can have several ads. So we can look at the structure and how it goes about once we familiarize ourselves with the dashboard. So just quickly have a look at what all the dashboard contains. So here, this is the button where you actually create a campaign, the plus create button. Here you can put a date range to decide and look at the current campaign performance. So if I'm looking at one of the campaigns, then I can look at the last 7-day data, and I can see the reach, impressions, amount spent. Of course, this, because I haven't spent anything recently, there's no data shown. I can also look at this as a maximum or an all-time report where I can see the amount being spent, the impressions, the cost per result, whatever the metrics that make sense for you. Of course, these metrics, you can change them. So in the columns part, you can go and customize your columns and set which are the metrics that matter most to you, and you can show them. So here, let's quickly get started and have a look at creating a campaign. So all you have to do is plus create, and then you will have to decide what is the objective that you want to run. So there are different objectives like I mentioned in our presentation. So there is, if you are looking at awareness, you have the brand awareness, reach. Otherwise, if you are in consideration, you can look at traffic, engagement, app installs, video views, lead generation, messages. And in conversions, you have conversion, catalog sales, and store traffic. Once you get a hang of launching one specific campaign, I think you can figure out what the other campaigns and how the setup looks like. If you have any clarification as to what exactly the campaign objective is, you can always press on the information icon where Facebook shows you what exactly the campaign objective means. So if you look at app install, it shows that show your ad to people most likely to download and engage with your app. Or if you look at store traffic, show your ad to people most likely to visit your physical store when they are near them. So this is more of a location based physical store campaign. So there are different types of campaign, and for the ease of this video, I think I'll restrict myself to the conversion campaign and just look at a few other important campaign types. So the conversion campaign is widely used, and a lot of businesses use digital marketing and Facebook campaigns to drive conversions, say purchases or whatever the conversion action they have in mind. So this is a very, very crucial campaign type. So I think I'll get started with that campaign, and probably we can just quickly have a look at a few other important ones too. So let's get started and click on the conversion objective, post which you will have to enter the campaign details, ad set name, ad name, etc. So I will not enter it here. I can either enter it here or just click on continue, and you can see the different options available. So there are a lot of options here which might look a bit overwhelming in the start, but once you get a hang of it, it's going to be very, very simple. There are a few basic steps to be taken to actually launch a Facebook ad campaign. So we will just stick to the basics of it. I will just show you what is needed to get started with it, but I will of course explain what this means and if you need a specific setting or not. So let's get started and probably name this Facebook test campaign for great learning. So here we go, and we can look at the special ad categories. You can ignore this because this is not needed. This is for ads that are related to social issues, elections, or politics. You don't need to do any sort of a change here. And campaign details as well, you don't really have to make a change, but I will still let you know what is possible. So you can leave this at default to launch your campaign, but you can always have a look at this. Buying type is auction by default, which is the only option available there. And the campaign objective is what we just selected, that is conversion. So you can change it at this point, but once the campaign is launched, you can't really shift campaign objectives. So here you can also put a campaign spending limit. So I'm not going to tinker with this too much. So if you want to, you can actually enter a spend limit. So you can put say 100 rupees here, but this is not very necessary. You can probably ignore this and you can take a call later if needed. So A/B test as well, you don't have to make any changes here. A/B test essentially means that if you want to test one particular campaign type versus another, that is when you do an A/B test. So you want to say test out website traffic campaign objective versus conversion campaign objective. You want to see which is driving better results for you, which is driving higher CTR, which is driving higher purchases or conversions. You can always try the A/B test method. So I don't think we will need it at this point. So we will just leave this as well as is. And here comes the budget part. So you can use a campaign budget optimization. That is, if you're using multiple ad sets, so you have about say 3 to 5 ad sets. Of course, that number completely depends on how you want to go about it. You can even have just 2 ad sets or how many ever you want. So if you choose a campaign budget optimization, this means that Facebook will decide which ad set needs to get how much money. So you don't have control on each ad set. So campaign budget optimization means that you are telling Facebook that I have put how many ever ad sets in this campaign, but you decide which is performing best for me and allocate budgets accordingly. So Facebook gets control over the spend limits in campaign budget optimization. A lot of Facebook ads users believe that CBO or campaign budget optimization is a very good way to go ahead with things. So let's get started and probably turn this on. And of course, I can also show you how to use an ad set based optimization where you can allocate separate budgets for each ad set. So you'll just get started with about 100 rupees campaign budget optimization. And here you can choose the bid strategy if needed. But this one which is provided by default is a good bid strategy. That is the lowest cost. And if you need details of it, again, you can just press the I and you can understand what it actually means. So you can edit this and change it if need be. You can choose the cost cap where you are getting the most results for your budget, or a minimum ROAS, which is not eligible for my account because I haven't spent enough on this account. This is a test account. So this is another bid strategy that you can use. So there is another one called a bid cap where you control the bid. So you can choose the lowest cost bid strategy, which would work well for your business. Basis your need, if need be, you can shift to a cost cap or a bid cap if you want to restrict your budget and get a certain cost per result that you have in mind, or a cost per bid that you have in mind. You can of course shift to any of these bid strategies, but for now we will keep it at lowest cost. I can also show you what it looks like when you do an ad set based optimization. So for now we will go ahead and click on next. So here you can see that we have reached the ad set level changes. So at any point, if you feel that I did miss something in the campaign settings, you can always go ahead and click on this. So this essentially means the campaign level settings. This is the ad set level settings, and this is the ad level data that you're going to put. So let's quickly go back to the campaign level settings. And if I want to change the campaign objective, I can do that, or the bid strategy, or let's see how it works without a campaign budget optimization. So you can even turn that off and see that here you can enter a budget here. So if you are selecting a campaign budget optimization, you wouldn't see the ad set level budget that was available here. So you can see that there is no budget entering option here. So that is because you have entered a campaign budget optimization, that is a CBO. So let's quickly have a look at the ad set settings. So let's probably use this as a Great Learning Digital Marketing ad set name. So I will keep this as a Great Learning Digital Marketing. So ad set name again completely depends on you, what you want to enter there, what will help you identify which ad set, what are the settings like. So you can probably mention what kind of targeting that you're using, or what course or what category is it that you're marketing in that ad set. Is there a demographic that you're targeting specifically? So just make sure that you are able to understand what the ad set contains. So that's about what you have to enter here. So probably if I'm using an interest based audience, I would enter an interest based here, but that's completely up to you what you want to mention in the ad set name. Next comes the conversion event location. So as of now, what I've entered is a website. So what you have to do is you have to decide where you want the conversion to occur. Do you want it to occur on a website, on the app, on Messenger, or WhatsApp? So this is for you to decide where does the conversion have to happen. So if you are a business that see high amount of conversion, high amount of traction on your app, then you probably want to use an app conversion event. Or if you see higher people converting on website, you can use a web conversion. So if you want to test out both, you can try 2 different ad sets, one with website conversion and one with app conversion. The only key difference here being the ad link that you're putting. So when you're coming to the ad level settings for website based conversion, you will have to enter a website landing page, and an app based conversion event, you will have to enter app deep links. So that is the main key difference here. And as for web messenger and WhatsApp, you can even get people to convert through them. So here you will have to enter your conversion event, but before that you will have to actually set up your conversion event. And in this specific account, I haven't set up my conversion event. I don't have a particular website linked to this account. That's why I haven't entered a conversion event. But for the sake of this video, we can just see how it is entered. So you can just click on a conversion event, say purchase. So as you can see, there is no recent activity here. So to get the conversion event set up, all you have to do is set up the pixel, the Facebook pixel on your website or app. So on the pixel front, you can see that when I hit the purchase event, it is said that I have to set up a conversion. So to launch a test campaign, this is not necessary. But however, for you to understand how to set it up, it is a simple process that goes in a piece of code behind your website. So you just have to click on setup conversions and you will see how you can track conversions with standard events. You can just click on one of these and Facebook gives you what is that code that you have to provide for your website. You will have to add certain parameters in the header section, and that is a very simple process to get the event conversion set up. So here, what you can do is, for now, we will just continue. So you can select whichever conversion event suits you best. Is it a complete registration? Is it a customized product? Donate, initiate checkout, lead, add to cart. So choose the conversion event that makes most sense for you once you set up the pixel tracking. Post that, you can move on and select certain options that if they suit well for you. So dynamic creative means that you provide Facebook a mix of different assets and Facebook automatically decides which works best for you. So for this campaign, we won't be using it, but you can always try turning it on and then seeing if that campaign type works for you. So here again, I'm not going to use the offer tab. We will just keep it off. So all you have to do for now is select the ad set name, the website, and the conversion event. And post that, what you can do is you can enter the start and end date. So this is not a compulsion. The start date, you don't have to mention it. So if I can just proceed with next, it will automatically go to review. But you can also schedule it. You can probably put it for midnight the same day, and you can also enter an end date. So for this video, I'm going to enter an end date. I'm probably going to keep it as 3 p.m. today because I don't want my campaign to end up spending money. This is just a temporary campaign, a test campaign. In case I forget to pause it, I will definitely add an end date. So this is completely your call. If you are planning on launching an indefinite campaign, or you don't know when the campaign is going to end or what results it could get, you don't have to set an end date. But if you are testing it out, if you just testing the waters, you don't want to end up burning all your money. You just testing how the campaign works, how you're setting it up, then you can definitely add an end date so that you don't end up burning your money. Next, you can look at the other options available. So you can hit on show more options and you can put an ad set spend limit. So this option is available in campaign-based optimization or campaign budget optimization. This is there because if you have multiple ad sets, say you have about 4 ad sets, and with campaign budget optimization, only 2 of them are spending most of your budget, but you want the other 2 as well to spend at least some amounts. So here what you can do is you can put a spend limit per ad set. So you can say that I want this ad set to spend a minimum amount of say 50 rupees or 1000 rupees or whatever the number is. Or if there are ad sets that you know have a tendency to spend more, you can put a maximum cap there. You can say that out of my 100 rupees that I've allocated, I want this particular ad set to spend maximum of 50. The rest can go to the other ad sets. So you can put that specific ad set spend limits as well. For this campaign, I'm not going to put a spend limit. And here comes the major part, the core of your campaign. Which audience are you targeting? So this specific option, we don't have a one size fits all sort of an answer for this audience. So you have multiple options within Facebook as to whom do you want your ads to show. That is, who is your right target audience. So some people use their existing audience lists, that is people who visited their website or interacted with their business. But some people use an interest based targeting or a lookalike targeting or just a geography based targeting. Some people even use an open targeting. So open targeting essentially means that you are not providing Facebook any audience whatsoever. You're just placing the ad there. I'm not putting any sort of a targeting, but Facebook itself identifies who is the right customer for my business. So this as well is something that has worked for many people using an open targeting. That is, don't enter anything in your audiences. That is, you don't put an interest based or a lookalike, not even an existing customer base, and Facebook itself identifies who is your right customer. But this is mostly used for identifying prospective customers, that is new customers. But for this video, we will see how we can tap into the different audience types. So here you can see that you can enter, if you have an audience list, you can enter that is an Instagram audience, that is someone who has engaged with my Instagram platform. You can also exclude certain people. So this mostly is useful if you have a certain audience list created. If you have audiences created on Facebook audiences, you will have these populate over here. So if you created a website visitor audience or an add to cart audience, it will pop up here, with which you can create a lookalike audience. You can even exclude people who have already interacted with your business if you are looking at targeting a new bunch of folks. So here, coming to locations, you can target specific countries, cities. You can exclude them as well. So I can click on exclude. So I can say that exclude, say, Bengaluru, or you can exclude top cities. So you can decide, probably you want to target only the tier 2 cities or the small towns in India, not the top metros. Then you can use this targeting, or you can include just that particular city. So that is for you to decide which location works best for you. So for now, let's just keep it as India. You can include, exclude how many other locations that you have in mind. And if you want to actually add them in bulk, you have an option here as well. So you can even put postal codes that you can enter in bulk. So that is for you to decide which location you want to target, and post that you can go ahead and target them. Here you can select on the age group based targeting. That is from 13 to 65 plus. You can choose which audience works best for you. You can choose the gender. And if you have any detailed targeting options in mind, you can definitely use them. So for this ad set, like I said, we are using a digital marketing interest-based audience. So if I had an audience list created, that is, if I had an audience list created here of existing purchasers. So if I can create a Facebook audience saying that these are the people who already purchased digital marketing course from me, I can create a lookalike audience of the purchasers here. So this will populate right here, and I can identify and look at that audience set. So creating a lookalike audience can be created here also. So as of now, I just have a few audiences that I have in place. So I'm just going to show you a test. So this is some audience that I created long back. So if you want to create a lookalike of an audience that you have already, so here you can see that you can create a lookalike of one person. So this means that this is the closest audience to your existing purchaser. So this means that it's a 4.4 million audience that you are looking at. If you want to widen the audience base, you can create it to lookalike 2%. So you can see that this is 8 million audience. So this is not the core audience. So lookalike 1% is the top cream, that is the closest to your audience. When you broaden it, your audience base increases, but the quality sort of reduces. So you can go up to say 3% in my opinion, or you can probably separate this out to 3 chunks. So it can be lookalike 1%, lookalike 1 to 2%, and lookalike 2 to 3%. So you can see these are the audiences that will get created. So this will help you target the audience that works best for your business. So in this campaign, we are not using a lookalike audience. I'm just showing how this is actually used. But what we will do is we will use an interest-based targeting. You can look at the detailed targeting option where we will say digital marketing. I'm sure there is an interest called digital marketing. So you can see that there's a digital marketing interest. You can even browse this and actually look at the different segments within each of them. But this becomes a bit cumbersome if you're looking at each of these. This completely depends on how much time you have in hand, how much you're willing to invest in this. What I like to do is actually enter one particular core interest and then look at the suggestions. So Facebook itself understands what are the related terms to digital marketing or related interests to digital marketing. And I can select online advertising, social media marketing, content marketing, social media marketing strategy. So I know that these audiences will be interested in a digital marketing course. What you can also do is probably use just one of these interests, say digital marketing, only in one ad set. And in the second ad set, you can use a different interest. So it can be online advertising in a separate ad set, content marketing in a separate one, and curate communication related to that. So in a social media marketing ad set, you can probably have ad communication like, are you interested in making it big in social media? Do you want to become the next biggest social media influencer or the social media marketer? So in Facebook and across digital platforms, your conversion essentially depends on how well you communicate to the likes of the audience that you're targeting. So here what I will do is I will select digital marketing interest, and you can see the potential reach on the right side. So there is a 400 million audience base allowed here. So you can just have a look at it. So this essentially means that your detailed targeting expansion, that is, other than digital marketing, also Facebook will target other options if it is likely to increase the performance. So you can look at the potential reach without this as well. How much is the potential reach? It is much lower without detailed targeting expansion. So it's your call if you want to include detailed targeting expansion or not. I will keep it on for this campaign, and you can also select languages if there are any that you want to target. Let's look at the other options available. You can also select connection, that is someone who used your app, people similar to people who used your app. You can even exclude people who were in your business ecospace. If you want to, once you've made certain settings, say I've put a targeting option of cities, targeting option of digital marketing, whatever age group that I have in mind, I can also save this audience and put a name to it so that next time if I want to use it, I don't have to enter each specific interest, each age group, city. So I don't have to add the details next time. You can save it as a name, probably digital marketing India. So in this case, it doesn't make much sense for me to save this audience because it's very basic. It's just one interest, digital marketing, age group is broad. It's just one location, but this will be useful when you're using multiple interests, multiple cities, probably a specific age group, or like even city-based targeting. If there are multiple nuances within your targeting, then you can definitely use this and save it. So you can save it as specific cohorts, which you can use in your targeting in the future. So all you have to do is save, and you can see it in the custom audiences above. So next time you look at this, you will see custom audience. Oh, this is already used in here. That's why it's not. Yeah, you can look at digital marketing India. You can see that you can use this audience as is. So I'm just going to make a quick change in the start date. So this got corrected just now, and I'm going to click on next. So here I will use the Great Learning ad name. So you can use the Great Learning digital marketing course. And here what you'll have to do is actually link that Facebook page and Instagram account to your Facebook ads manager. So here I currently don't have access. So you just enter the ad name and post that. What you'll have to do is you will have to link the specific Facebook and Instagram page that you're going to promote with your ads manager. So I have currently linked one of my friends' photography page, and that's why this is showing up and not the Great Learning website and not the Great Learning Facebook page and Instagram page. So since this is a test campaign that will not run, we will pause it immediately. That's fine. So if you're running it for your business, make sure that you have linked your Facebook and Instagram page. So make sure that your Facebook and Insta page shows up in these parts of the ad settings. And here on the right side, you can look at a preview. You can see what your ad looks like on the right side. This place essentially shows what your ad looks like. So here, what I'm going to do is we have entered the ad name, Facebook and Instagram account. And post that, here comes the ad setting. So you will just have to select, you don't have to click on any of this. You just have to select, is it a single image or video? Is it a carousel or is it a collection? So I will go ahead and select a single image and I will turn on preview. And what I will do is I will add an images. So let's see if we can use this image. So this image sort of fits. So this is what it looks like in a landscape format. In videos where it's a square format, it's showing as landscape again. And even on stories, there's a lot of gray space. So what I would recommend is that if you are actually setting up an ad, I would recommend that you have a square size creative, which you can again replace here, and a story size creative, that is a portrait creative, so that when people are interacting with stories, they actually see a full size image. So that is my recommendation for you. But in this video, I just have one landscape sort of an image. I think that works for a test campaign. So we're just going to do with this, and I will click on done. So here on the right side, you can see what the ad looks like, what is the headline, etc. So I will go ahead. So if you want to edit specific placement, so you can change the creative over here. So if you want to make this a video, you can change it here, and different options that you have for each placement. So you can see that there are different placements within each of this. One thing I missed out in the previous ad set settings was the placement. So here you can see that in the ad set settings, there's an automatic and manual placement. So if you want to select just Facebook or Instagram or audience network, you can always do that. You can select which platform works best for you, but I would suggest to keep it at automatic placements for now, and we will see each placement, how we go about it. So here I'm going to just enter a text like get learn digital marketing today. So what you can also do is that if you have multiple text options, you can always add them so that Facebook gets more option to set your campaign. So you can enter another headline, up to 5 of them you can enter, and Facebook will decide which headline works best. That is, primary text works best. Same goes with headline. You can add up to 5 options here as well. So once you enter them, you can see on the right side how it looks like. So this is what it looks like. Learn digital marketing today. Book your seats now. I can add a little description here as well. So I can say that so I can enter this specific website here, and I can add a description if need be. So this is completely up to you if you want to add it. You can see a quick preview of what it looks like. Learn digital marketing today. Buy greatlearning.in. Book your seats now. Learn from India's top ranked. So this is not completely visible. So maybe I will use this as headline or a primary text. I will use this here, and probably learn digital marketing I'll use in the description. So you can see that the description comes in here, the headline comes as bold in here, and this is the primary text. So here I can change the call to action. I can put it as apply now, book now, subscribe, sign up. So I'll keep it as apply now. So this is what the call to action looks like. And here you can see each of the options. You can even look at the preview. What does this ad look like in a story format? So I can look at Instagram stories and see what my ad looks like here. This is what it looks like, and probably in the in-stream video, it looks like this. So these are the different options that you can look at. So once you can also enter a display link. So if you want your link to look a little better, you can always add anything that you want. So you can just put it as greatlearning.in. So this will be the display link. So I can show you how that looks like. So you can see that this is the display link. So it doesn't show the HTTPS www. So I've put a display link as well of what it looks like, and that will be a preview of that. So here I've entered a website. If I want, I can add a call extension. I can add a number here as well. If you want to cross-check your website URL, you can just have to click on preview URL and it will take you to the Great Learning website. If you have any app events, you can set that up. And once your pixel tracking is also enabled, this will be really helpful for you to track the events on your website. So you can optimize the text per person, which is disabled now. I think I'll leave that as is and then go ahead. So I can just quickly review my campaign. What is it that I've added in the ad set? If you want to add any videos, suppose I want to change in the story bit of it, I want to change this to a video asset or completely change the asset to turn it to a video, you can do that. You have an option that Facebook itself gives you a few templates. Say you can try this template, which looks quite nice in my opinion. So here you can try this template out. So you can try editing it. Facebook and Instagram are of course video first platforms, and having a video approach might be helpful. So you can even create a video in here, edit it out and try that method if that suits you. So for now, this looks good to me. I can review the ad set settings over here if I want to, but this looks fine to me. If you have any constraints, you can definitely change that. Maybe I'll change the budget, reduce it a bit and see how things work. I think the rest looks good to me, and I will go ahead and publish this campaign. So here the error showing is that the start date is wrong. So I'll just restart my start date, and it's showing that it'll run for lesser than 24 hours because I've set a really quick end date, which is just half an hour. But let's see. I think this should be okay for a test campaign. I will go ahead and publish it. So here again, there is some error. So it says that my campaign time frame is too small, so I will just go ahead and increase that. So probably I'll keep it for tomorrow 3 p.m. and this should be fine. So to resolve the errors, all you have to do is click on Facebook's view details and you can see what went wrong where. So here you can see the campaign that we have created, our very first campaign on Facebook dashboard. So you can see that this is active. There's a blue icon here. This means that the campaign is active. I can turn it off by just clicking on it right here. So for now, I'll just turn it on again for your reference. And what you can do is you can click on this and see the ad sets within it. So there is one ad set that I have. I can even duplicate this and create another one if I want to. If I just want to try out a different interest, I can always duplicate this and create another one, another ad set. So here I will click on the ad set and I can see the ads within my campaign. So here as well, I can click on these buttons to see my campaigns, my active ad set. So I can see that these ad sets are active. However, the campaigns are off in these courses. So, and I can go to the ads. This is the only active ad right now. So I will go ahead and pause it for now so that we don't end up spending budgets. You can always look at the performance of this campaign. You can edit it. You can make changes. Here you can also view the performance, see charts of how it has been trending. So if you look at a custom date range, you can always see graphs here, what demographics work best, what platform worked best. So these data you will be able to see on the Facebook dashboard. So that was our first conversion based campaign on Facebook. So let's not wait any further. Maybe we look at a few other campaign types as well and see, is there anything different that we haven't used in our existing conversion campaigns? So we did look at Facebook conversion campaigns and how to launch them. Of course, they're the most important campaign type that is widely used across businesses that are using Facebook Business Manager. But there are different types of campaigns that are available within Facebook. What about the others? Let's quickly look at some other important Facebook campaign types that are widely used on the platform. Again, I'll go ahead and click on create campaigns. Here probably we can try out app install, since that is widely used in the digital marketing industry. A lot of apps are present today that help engage the users a lot more. So in that context, app install campaigns are very necessary. Let's just quickly have a look at what the app install setup looks like. Of course, the targeting, we'll keep it similar so that there is no much change in the targeting options, but we'll look at how to set up an app install campaign. So there are two options within this, which is the automated app ads and the app ads. So here the key difference is that in automated app ads, Facebook itself decides the targeting options. It's a lot more automated. You have given a lot more control to Facebook. So this is similar to what Google does. Google has its UAC campaigns or universal app campaigns. So automated app ads are similar to that, where you give maximum control to the platform. We don't have much options with respect to targeting and bid strategies. It's a lot more limited in this approach, but this is more of an option that is given to people who have lesser experience in using app install campaigns. So you can go ahead and try this out, whichever works best for you, or you can even set up a manual one. So we will look at both of them. For starters, we will look at the manual setup, since that requires a lot more effort. We will get started with this, post which we will move to an automated app ads. So here I will click on continue. Again, I'll enter my campaign name, test campaign, app installs for great learning. Again, here you don't have to enter anything in special ad categories. Buying type will remain auction itself, since that's the only option available. Again, we have selected app ads and not automated app ads, and our objective is installs here. You can also change the objective, but since we have selected the campaign objective as installs, we will keep it as is. We won't be A/B testing anything here, and we will try a campaign budget optimization. So here again, I'll put a very tiny budget of 100 rupees, since this is a test campaign, and the bid strategy will remain as is. That is the lowest cost bid strategy. Similar to our previous campaign, there are options for cost cap and bid cap as well, but we will keep it as lowest cost only. Add schedule. As of now, we don't have a schedule timings available here. Here again, I'll mention great learning interest, app installs for digital marketing. So this is just an identifier. Whatever helps you understand the ad set name better, you can use that. You can choose where the ad needs to be. So I will choose it as Google Play. So Google Play is widely used for app install. So let's use that, and I will search for Great Learning within this. Great Learning free online courses. So let's select that app. As you can see, the app isn't linked to my ad account since this is a test account. This isn't linked, but you should ideally have that set up. So if you are launching app install campaigns on Facebook, you should set it up with your account so that you get maximum benefits out of it. Again, coming to this, so here I don't have a catalog in place. Catalog essentially means a data feed or a product set. So if you have, say, 4 courses for digital marketing, the catalog will show all the digital marketing related courses. Or if you are an e-commerce store, it'll show all your products within a certain filter. So you can enter that filter, whatever that is. Say shoes for men, you can segregate all the shoes for men and put it into one catalog where it'll show as a carousel. So that is one approach. Of course, we will not be taking that approach in this campaign type. We will keep it to a normal campaign without a catalog. And here again, the timing, I will change it to 3:30 p.m. And I will put an end date for tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Let's put it as 4. Since Facebook suggests that it should run more than 24 hours. So I've kept the campaign for this schedule, and I can create my audience here. So I can use the custom audience that I had created earlier. Let's look at the saved audience. So in saved audience, it's showing me the digital marketing interest that I saved earlier. So I can use that specific audience. Interest remains digital marketing. Targeting is India. The age is 18 to 65 with detailed targeting expansion on. So here, if I want to, I can select the placement as, say, just Instagram. So I can try it out as different ad sets. So I can use this ad set for just Instagram, probably another one for Facebook, another one for audience network. So that is completely your call. If you want to test out different placements, Facebook versus Instagram, you can of course try that in different ad sets. But what Facebook recommends is an automatic placement where Facebook itself decides which placement is best for your business. If you want to look at a device level settings, you can exclude tablets if you want, or include just tablets. That's for your call to take. You can exclude certain devices if need be. You can even enter a device name like it's mentioned here, Samsung Galaxy S4. And there is an Android option as well, an OS option. Here, your default optimization for ad delivery is link click. So you can change that if you want. App installs, you can change it to app installs. That is, it'll show to people who are most likely to install your app. So you can select that as well. And you can go ahead and click on next. So for using the app install objective, app install optimization, what I will have to link the app. So for now, I'll keep it as link clicks itself. So the error repeat. So there are no errors right now, and I can go ahead and click on next. So here I can enter it as app install for Great Learning. And use this app which we have used earlier, and I can select an image. This image that I've used earlier has popped up here, so I'll just use this. So here you can see that this is what the ad looks like. In certain placements, it's not really showing up because the dimensions that I've put, so you can't use it on Facebook stories because I've not added a portrait version. I haven't added a story dimension of the ad. So you might want to add that so that your ad is visible across different placements. And what I'll do is I'll quickly add a primary text and a headline, learn digital marketing. You can, of course, add options like we discussed earlier. And if you want to, you can add a carousel. So it's for you to decide basis your ad assets that what you want to promote, a single image or a video or a carousel. So you can check that, and you can even add a deferred deep link. So this essentially means that if someone installs your app, you want them to go to a specific page. If you have that deferred deep link, you can add it, but it is optional. So if I want people to go to the digital marketing course page after installing, I can add that deferred deep link here. And the call to action, of course, I think should be installed now, since it's an app install campaign. And here you can track the events. So the pixel is not active, but I've still ticked on this. You can see if this is relevant for you, and basis that you can take a call. So here, this is about it. The rest of the settings, as you saw, are very similar to what you had done earlier for Facebook conversion. So you can even check a review of what it looks like. So the Facebook page is this. You can, of course, edit it and ensure that you're running ads for the same Facebook page that you are promoting the ads for. In this case, I haven't, because I currently haven't linked it to the test account. And this is just a test campaign which will not spend any money. So this is what it looks like. My ad looks like this. I can look at different placements here, what it looks like in each placement. You can even share a link of this. So once you get this link, you can send it to someone. So if you want someone to see what the ad looks like, you can just send them this link. You can copy this link and send it to them, and they will be able to see the ad, what it looks like, what's the preview of the ad. So I think our setup is done. There's nothing much left in this. Let's just hit on publish, and I think we are about done there. So that was quite simple, right? Very, very similar to our conversion campaigns. The app install campaign was quite straightforward. The targeting was quite simple. The only difference being that you have to enter an app and then actually promote that. So that was it for app install campaigns. Let's quickly have a look at the automated app installs as well. The settings will remain quite the same. Again, I'm just going to enter it as test. The setting will be automated app ads. The rest remains the same. Just click on next. Test automated app install. Again, I can select Great Learning here. All you have to do is select a location. As you can see that in automated app install, the main difference is that there is no targeting option as such. There is no interest-based lookalike targeting as such. All you have to do is choose your optimization goal. Is it an app install with app events, or is it just an app install, or is it just app events? So since I haven't linked the app, I won't be able to drive app events. So if you have it linked with your account, you can select particular events in your app. So I can define the event such as purchase of a digital marketing course, and I can target the automated app install, which shows it to a wide audience. So Facebook itself decides who's the right person who's likely to make a purchase for your digital marketing course without any targeting that you are giving to Facebook whatsoever. Of course, the location and language you can put in, but the rest is decided by Facebook. So I will leave it at app installs in this. I can even select a bid cap. How much is it that I'm willing to pay for each app install? So say I'm paying about 20 rupees for an app install. So I can use that amount as a bid cap. So here again, you can put a schedule for this campaign. You can put an end date if you're looking at pausing it sometime soon. Let's look at 5 p.m. tomorrow and quickly get started with this. So here again, all you have to do is select an image or multiple images. So here I'm going to copy this, use the primary text, and probably learn digital marketing as the headline. And that's about it. There is no additional information that's required. So you saw how simple it is to actually launch an automated app install campaign. There is no targeting whatsoever that you have to break your head over. You just have to leave it all to Facebook and see what works best for your business. So you let Facebook decide who is the right person who is likely to install my app, who is the right person to engage with my app. So you can use a mix of both, like we discussed earlier. You can use a mix of installs with a likelihood of taking a certain action within your app. So as you can see in this, the only error that's showing is that the app is not linked to my Facebook account. So this is the only roadblock here. But other than that, you saw how simple it is to actually set up an automated app install campaign on Facebook. Similarly, there are multiple other objectives that are available. The setup is quite similar. Maybe we'll look at just one more, that is a reach campaign. We will see how the reach campaign is different, and then you can see what works best for your business. Again, the different buying types are available here are only auction, and the campaign objective that we selected is reach. So this objective is mainly when you want the word out there that your business exists. You want people to know that your business exists. You want maximum people to see the brand name, the brand messaging, what it offers. So those details of your business need to come out through this campaign. So here the daily budget I've put as 200 rupees and the start date at 3:45 p.m. today and an end date. So here again you can select a saved audience, that is digital marketing, or you can even select a different one altogether. So you can see that detailed targeting expansion is not available in reach based targeting. So I'm going to duplicate this audience and I'm going to exclude detailed targeting expansion. Okay, we can't even exclude that. There is no option available for detailed targeting expansion. So that remains as is, and we will look at other options. So this seems quite similar. Placements, you can decide what placements to use. If there's some filter that you want to put, that you don't want to use a full inventory, you want to use a limited inventory, that is a lot of sensitive content is excluded. I would suggest to go ahead with a standard inventory, since Facebook knows what are the topics that are very sensitive, and basis that it will take a call. So here you can put a bid control as well. If you have a certain bid amount in mind, that is a CPM bid, you can definitely put that. And here you can change the optimization to impressions or reach. So reach means unique number of people. So you want unique number of people to actually view your ad, right? You want more people, more unique users to see your ad. So reach is the recommended optimization for this ad, and we'll keep that as is. And you can see the potential reach is 35k to 1 or 2k is the estimated daily reach. Test ad for reach. Great learning, digital marketing. So you can again copy paste some website data. That's what. Add new options if needed. So in this, you can see that there is no headline option available. Let's look at the preview. Okay, let me add an image first. You can add a website URL here. So here again, I'll put learn digital marketing. And the call to action, we can keep as apply now. Website events, app events as well if you have a particular app that is linked to the website. And here you can look at the preview. So as you can see, the rest of the campaign settings are quite similar. It's just the main campaign objective that changes, the ad optimization, the ad delivery that changes. Here we are optimizing for reach. So the rest remains quite similar. And that's about it to launch a reach ad too. So you can see how similar each campaign is. So there are no much changes within different campaign objectives. While the setup is considered, it is quite similar in most different types of campaign objectives. All you have to figure out is how to launch one Facebook campaign, and I'm sure you'll understand how to do the rest too. So I'll just give you a quick look of what other features are available within the Facebook dashboard. The date range, like I mentioned, is selected as maximum. And here you can even look at the setup. You can click on view setup and you can see what is this app install campaign. Let's look at that. So you can see that included custom audiences, excluded custom audiences. There is no detail mentioned here as such because we haven't entered any custom audiences. So here you can see the bid cap. It basically shows the campaign setup. How much is the budget? What is the schedule like? What's the ad set ID? It gives details about the campaign if you look at the campaign setup. Coming to columns, you can set up columns that work best for you. So here it differs from person to person. So you can customize the columns. You can choose the metrics that matter most to you, probably remove the ones that don't matter to you, say conversion rate ranking or engagement rate ranking or quality ranking doesn't matter to you. You can of course remove them. If there is another metric like a cost per purchase that matters to you, you can definitely add that. So here you can add the total number of purchases and the cost per purchase. So I don't like to look at it at a separate level, so I tend to remove it, but that's your call. And if you want to rearrange this, you can of course do that. You can probably look at it in a view where you see this first. So these are the different metrics that you can put within the column so that you can customize your column and see the daily numbers as to what works best for you. So here probably what you can also see is you can look at it at a breakdown. So this sign essentially means the breakdown. So if you want to look at a day on day report or an age wise report or a gender wise report, like Facebook will be able to show you. Wait, let's look at last 7 days. So here, since we don't have any data currently, it's not showing up, but otherwise it'll show you a breakdown of which ads worked best in that particular time period. Within this bar, this white space essentially is your filter to see the different types of campaign in your dashboard. So if you can select it by name, so you can just enter probably a name like test, that is campaign name tests, contains test, or ad set name contains test, ad name. So I would select campaign name I would select campaign name contains test, and I can see only the campaigns. Those are test campaigns. So I'm going to pause all of them. Similarly, if there is any other filter that you have in mind, you want to filter only the app install campaigns, you can do that. So this part is essentially for you to search your campaigns, filter out campaigns, and just have a look at the campaigns that matter most to you. So I hope you got a quick glimpse of how to launch Facebook campaigns, how to actually use the dashboard, what are the objectives, what are the optimization types. I'm sure by the end of this video, you will be able to launch your very first Facebook campaign, no matter which objective that is. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do let us know in the comment section below about what you loved most in this video on setting up your Facebook campaigns. Thank you for watching this video.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. This is done to make sure you do not miss out on any of the new updates or video releases from Great Learning. And of course, guys, if you enjoy this video, show us some love and do like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, right? So make sure you share this video with your friends, colleague, and everyone who can make use of it. And at the end of it, make sure to comment on the video if you have any queries or any suggestions, and I'll be more than happy to respond to all of your comments.